Hello, all my friends in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc. I'm your host, Vita Verdon, and I listen to all the communication you have emailed and called me on, and I have tried to do the shows that the audience wants because you are the bulk of what we're doing the show for. We're a community service. Tonight I have on one of the smartest men that I know. He worked as an actuary for an insurance company for a long time, and now he volunteers for an organization called S.H.I.P, which is Seniors Health Insurance Programs, and they help people figure out their insurance plans. And his name is Jim Cowen, and he works out of the Highland Park Senior Center, and he has been on the show a few times before, and we gladly welcome him back. Welcome, Jim. It's so nice to have you back on the show. Now, I know we've been through this before, but this time we're going up online on patch.com. So we start with, people like to know a little something about you, where you're from, and how you got involved in this work, and what an actuary is, if you'd kindly tell our audience.
I majored at math in college, and I learned about the actuarial profession. To really get ahead in the actuarial profession, you have to pass a series of exams. And they cover a lot of things. They cover statistics, cover reading the law, many, many things. Now, the actuaries, I worked in pensions for the federal government, for an agency that closely related to Social Security, and actually took Social Security into their act by reference. At the beginning, you're doing a lot of grunt work, doing mathematical things, building tables. We're known for setting up the mortality tables and things like that. However, as you get older, you move into a much higher category, and that is you will the actuary in an insurance company is really the man that knows the whole business. He usually designs the insurance policies, or in pensions like the pensions, and in most cases writes the first draft, which is then sent to the attorneys. He also does a lot of explaining to top management of what is involved in these things, like the pension or things like that. I was testifying before Congress on these, and I moved up the ladder quite fast and became chief actuary of the organization I worked for. And since I would explain it to the labor people, management people, Congress, and go from there.
I know actuaries are like the PhDs in the insurance plans.
Well, I said it. They know, the ones that know the whole business.
Right. So I know that you retired, because you told me. You don't mind telling your age, do you?
No. I was in World War II, so you can go from there. I'm 86 years old.
Well, God bless you. When did you retire?
I retired completely at the beginning of 1993, when my wife became eligible for Social Security.
Oh, good. And now you volunteer for an organization called S.H.I.P, and we're going to explain to our audience what S.H.I.P is. That's a group of...
Okay. Every state in the Union has created a S.H.I.P area at the behest of Medicare. In S.H.I.P, we are designed to help people make decisions or to teach them what is involved. we will explain for people just turning or becoming eligible for Social Security or Medicare. If they come into us, we will explain what those provisions are in those laws and what your options are. This would include Medicare, the prescription drug plans, the Medicare supplement plans bought from insurance companies, and things like that. Also, more important is if you have a problem, you can come into us and we will help you resolve it. If you have to think where you want to want to submit an appeal, we will help draft the appeals for you. We will help you.
I just wanted to interject. I know that through S.H.I.P, you've really gotten a lot of money for people which they didn't know how to go about, or didn't even, in some cases, know they had it coming.
Well, basically, we got the money from them because we resolved the problem where there was some mistake. I'll give you an example. This man came into me who had had an operation for $65,000. He was being billed by one of the two anesthesiologists who took part in the operation, and but he kept getting a bill from that one anesthesiologist. What had happened is the hospital, when they had sent it in, did not have his name, and they sent the bill in for the anesthesiologist without his name. Medicare paid to the hospital. The hospital never forwarded what they received for him to him. He came in to me. I went through the whole bill and found out what happened. And I called and got them to pay for his bill, $1,600.
That was good.
That's the kind of thing we do.
One place I'd like to talk about a little bit is I don't think people know how to go on to Plan Finder for Medicare.
For Medicare has a very good website to help people figure out which prescription drug plan they should buy. On this drug plan, which is called the Plan Finder.
Okay, so they go into
www.gov and
Medicare.gov.
Medicare.gov and find the prescription drug plans and go from there. To it, when you come in or when you do it yourself, you have to have a list of your prescriptions with the drug and the frequency at which you take them. Okay. Medicare or the website will go through those, put those in, and they will go through all of the plans that are sold in the area. There are 35 or so sold in this area, and list them in the order of financial advantage to you, with the one that would cost you least coming first and then going down the line. The financial part includes the premium and the amount of money you would have to pay in co-insurance. So it gives you the whole thing. It is something that you should look at. Now, we say you should do it every year because the plan may have changed their formulary, because each plan needs to only have 2 prescriptions for each ailment, and some ailments have a lot more prescriptions than two prescriptions. So you have to look. It will even tell you whether your prescriptions are covered or not. So this is something that you should do every year, because your prescription may have changed, the dosage, the frequency. The company may have cut it out of their formulary, the fancy name for list, or it can't be beat. At the end, you can even pick 3 plans at a time and get a side-by-side comparison of those 3 plans.
Well, that's a really good. Now I know a lot of people don't have access to a computer, and I know there's different places they can go to for a S.H.I.P representative. You said there's one where, in Highland Park?
There's one in Highland Park, I know. There used to be one, I think it's still there, in the Lake Bluff, Lake Forest Senior Center.
Uh-huh.
There used to be one in one of the hospitals up here in Waukegan. There's one in Evanston. I know.
You can go there, and you have to make an appointment with the S.H.I.P representative, and they will do it for you and help you get these comparisons. And now we come to the part we call Vita's Pearls of Wisdom. Now, you know, this show is constructed around you, so you as an audience, you are the stars of the show because you dictate to me what you want to hear and information that you need. And since we are a group of seniors that we're living longer than any other generation, we don't have a group before us to help guide us. We're kind of pioneering it. And so we try to help each other. And I'm going to give you my email address if you have any ideas that you'd like to either come on the show or have somebody on the show to email me. Just email me at VitaVerden, VITAVERDEN @netzero.net. And we're online go into patch.com in Libertyville and put senior issues, etc., and it will give you a little blurb about what the show is all about, and then all the shows are listed. We also have a website, and that is srissues.org, and you can go into that, and you'll see everything that the show is about. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is that not only you have to keep your insurances in line, because what we have to learn how to do as a group of seniors is to know what our benefits are and how to access into our benefits. And that's one thing that S.H.I.P will help you about. And I know that you don't see a lot of advertising about it, and so we try to get the information out to people. And you can go into a website and you can get into, what is that website, insurance, that they can get into to find out where S.H.I.P is listed?
That they can go into the S.H.I.P office down in Springfield. It's one of their things. And they have a list of all the ones in the state of Illinois by county.
All right, so go into that and get someone to help you figure it all out. And on your medications, when you're taking your medications and you're going into your doctor, please don't ask for more medication. Bring a paper bag with all your medications, even your over-the-counter vitamins, and show them to your doctor and say, now listen, what could be eliminated? Because you want to cut back on your medication. You don't want to have more. You want to have less on your medication. So you have to learn how to do all these things. And recently, I had a friend, she happens to be the producer of this show, who fell on the ice, and we just heard a crazy thing. She fell on a little piece of black ice from a sidewalk that wasn't clean. And what we heard from the place where we're living, which is Libertyville, is they're not responsible. It's actually the community is supposed to be responsible because nobody reported it as ice on the ground. So if you're out and about in any of the suburbs or wherever you are and you see on the sidewalks that there's ice, please go and report it. Even though something didn't happen to you, report it, that in the event that somebody falls, that they could be covered, because she has actually expenses coming out of it. She cracked her tooth, which she had to pay for out of her own pocket. It's not covered by anybody. And so please go and pay attention. I don't want you to fall, but pay attention. If there's ice on the ground anywhere, report it into the community in which you're living. And now we're going to get back to this, and what we're going to get into is the different, we were talking about going online, and if the people that are watching can't go online, that a S.H.I.P volunteer will help them. So we talked a little bit more about how they could contact. And if you can't remember any of these things, I think one way you could do it is if you go into your senior center, there's always a head at your senior center, and they do have the numbers available, or they will find out where to contact somebody that you could get in contact with a S.H.I.P representative, right?
Right. Actually, the Department of Insurance in Springfield is the one that coordinates all of the S.H.I.P offices and gives the trains the S.H.I.P volunteers. They keep us updated as changes that take place. The S.H.I.P volunteers have to go to sessions once a year, at least once a year, for updating. And we are kept involved. There's also certain training tapes that we go to online. There is what's called a webinar that is a 1-hour training program once a month on different phases of Medicare.
Another thing I'd like to bring up now is I know like the benefits, like from like if a person goes in the hospital, then a nursing home, that's not on a calendar year, is it?
No. Medicare Part A, which covers hospital and nursing homes and home health care, works on a benefit period. The benefit period starts when you go into the hospital, ends when you have no Part A services for 60 days. And then if you go back in the hospital, a new benefit period starts.
The benefit period doesn't start until you go into the hospital, right?
Right.
All right.
Then, but Part B, which covers doctor's bills and durable medical equipment and other stuff like that, does work on a calendar year basis. So that's a big difference, and people don't recognize it. And I had people who have been going in and out between nursing home and hospital, and had the insurance company not pay for the hospitalization or nursing home because they said the man or the woman had not had the 20 days that Medicare paid 100% before the Medicare insurance, supplement insurance policy would pay. But I had the insurance company denying payment for the first 20 days the woman was in the nursing home because she hadn't met the 20 days.
That is really hard. Now, I know I'm getting off of this insurance subject, but it's along the line of actually understanding it. Is, you know, lately I've been hearing on television and on the radio, on the news, all this payroll tax. And I really don't understand it. And I know that you have a better understanding than I. Could you explain a little bit to us all? Because this is rolling around, and we hear them jibber-jash, but we don't know what they're talking about.
The payroll tax that they're reducing, and I dislike the term payroll tax because it's really the Social Security tax that has been paying, because what they're doing is reducing the amount of tax that takes from your payroll for Medicare and Social Security, not the general funds. And that's going to cause difficulty for Medicare and Social Security, who are already having their own problems.
Why will that cause difficulty? Explain
They're getting
that.
less money.
They're getting less money for it. So
Yeah.
what can we do about that?
Well, that's up to the Congress, the president. But would rather call it Social Security tax than payroll tax, because then people would understand it more.
Do you think that this was done accidentally, or do you think they...
I don't know. I can't read the minds of the congressman and the president.
Well, how about the media? Why aren't they questioning it?
I don't know why the media... I have never seen the media say it's a Social Security tax or a Medicare tax. All I've heard is the payroll tax.
Well, do you think the media knows even?
I would expect they would.
So, that we should really be more informed. And how can we get more informed? We should be aware of all the benefits that...
Well, it's hard. You have to know what the benefits are and have to know what's involved. People know that some of their payroll tax is for Social Security. The other part is withholding tax, which is really their money, which is going to reduce the amount they're going to have to pay at the end of the year for their income taxes.
Well, another area I'd like to get into a little bit is like you go into a nursing home and like I know the first few days, maybe you could explain this. We could get into that a little bit. Like the first 20 days or... Well,
in a nursing home is covered if but you must have been in a hospital at least 3 days before you go into the nursing home.
Okay.
For the first 20 days you're in the nursing home, Medicare pays 100%.
Okay.
For the next 81 days, Medicare pays all but $141 and something per day.
Now this is where I run into confusion. I thought that they paid 80%.
80% is for Part B of Medicare, the doctor's bills.
But it's not for...
Not for the nursing home or the hospital.
So the doctor's bill is an entirely different basis than the facility in which you're in. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, how do that differential that shows up, and that is a great differential between the 80% and this 104.
Well, first of all, there's no limit to the doctor's bills.
Okay.
There's no time limit. Part A has limits. For the hospital, Medicare pays a deductible of over $1,100, has a deductible of over $1,100.
Okay.
And then they pay 100% of the next 60 days.
Okay.
And after that, from the 61st through the 90th, they pay all but, I think it's something like $250 or something. I don't remember the exact figures. And then after 90 days, they have a 365 lifetime benefit that they will also pay, but all something like over $500 a day. The Medicare supplements that you buy separately will pay for most of these co-insurance.
Well, let's recap this to see what's important. I think one of the things that is really important is that people are aware of this plan finder. And this plan finder that you can't just call on the telephone and call Medicare. You have, this is only online, right?
At times, the Department of the agency in Springfield may help you through the plan finder. But that's it.
Department of the S.H.I.P agency? Or the
no. The department, one of the departments of the state government is a department of an agency. It's
the insurance agency, right?
No. Let's see. Agency for Aging.
Department of Aging.
Yeah. The see here, Illinois Department of Agency.
And they might help you through this plan.
They email. They have an email address. Agency, aging.illsenior@illinois.gov.
Okay.
And they handle Illinois Cares RX and a lot of other things like that.
We might go into this RX a little bit. What is this RX?
Illinois Care RX, most people are still calling it the circuit breaker, is a program by the state of Illinois that helps you pay. Well, they will pay your prescription drug premium. You will have low co-insurance or co-pays if you qualify. Through 2011, you could have income, if you were single, up to $27,000 a year. For 2012, that has been reduced to $21,000 a year. So many people are going to be cut off from their Illinois Cares RX. In addition, if the city of Chicago now and the trains, to get free transportation, you have to have the Illinois Cares RX card. All other seniors can get a half fare, but if you have the senior card, you can get free bus, free train rides. You also get a discount on the sticker for your auto insurance.
I think we have to cut now because we could go on and on. When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. You know why? The best is yet to come. What we want y'all to do this week is catch the spirit.